Hardcore gamers just love to hate party games. I don't know what it is, but there's something they just love about stomping on them and pointing out at every opportunity how they're not real video games. Heck, I saw a bajillion comment long thread on TikTok claiming that because Smash Bros was a party game, it could not be a fighting game because fighting games are for real gamers, don't you know? Or arguably worse yet, I sometimes see that party games get the kids movie treatment. You ever go to see like the Minions pre-sequel or whatever, and then afterwards you turn to your friends and you go, you know, it would have been nice if they had put any sort of character development or plot depth in that movie at all. And then they go, Carl, it's a kids movie. What did you expect? And then you rightfully go, I don't know. Maybe I was expecting that the mega corporation wouldn't use the fact that their target audience is a little less experienced than usual as a lame excuse to make a steaming pile of dog crap instead of a good movie. Jeffrey? Hypothetically. The exact same thing happens with party games. Sometimes I feel like a party game comes out where the studio put like no thought into it and everybody just goes, it's a party game. Who cares? I care. Party games are video games too, god dang it, and they deserve to be designed well. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what goes into making a quality party game. So, as any cliche video essay starts, we need to define what exactly a party game is. A party game is defined by me as a game that is designed to be played at a party. It's not rocket science here, folks. But of course, we need to break down what specifically makes a game good to play at a party. And I personally have come up with 3 major things: format, skill, and accessibility. Now, there are countless ways to design a party game, but there's one format specifically I want to focus on today, and that is the board game minigame combo. If you're not aware, these are games in which each individual player controls their own character or piece on a game board, but interspersed within the main board game, there are mini-games in which all the players compete in order to have various effects on how the actual board game will play out. If you've ever played Mario Party, you know what I'm talking about. Now, the cool thing about having both of these game modes at the same time is that each one does a good job of balancing out the other one's flaws. If a game is just constant mini-games where everyone's participating all the time, well, no one has any downtime, so assuming you're at a party, no one really has the time to get up and go to the bathroom, grab a snack, whatever. But while the board game aspect can help give players the downtime to do what they need to do, well, they're at a party. Just rolling the dice and moving your character on the board is probably not going to be the most engaging thing, so the mini-games help to tie everything together by giving you more direct interaction with the other players. Plus, having the backdrop of a board game makes the fun mini-games feel more impactful when the results of the mini-game can directly impact the results of the board game. But while this framework is good, it's still just a framework, and you need to make sure it's actually executed properly. And one way to do this is to use skill. But perhaps equally as important is luck. To understand this, let's have a look at what I like to call the luckometer. Over on the right, we have 100% luck games, like flipping a coin, if you can call that a game. Since the flipper has absolutely no control over the outcome and the odds are perfectly even, the guesser has no way to influence the outcome of the game with skill. You do not want your party game to be 100% luck. For example, if you are playing Mario Party and your goal is to be the one with the most stars at the end of the game, and on the last turn, your brother, who is in last place, lands on a space that says, hey, swap his stars with yours, so you go to last place and he goes to first place, and there's literally nothing you can do about it, you start wondering why the heck you are even trying that whole game when technically you would be in a better off place if you literally didn't play at all. And the more dependent on luck your game is, the more frequent those scenarios are. And if your game often has your players thinking, well, I would have been better off if I had just not even played this, that's what we like to call in the industry bad. But anyway, back to the luckometer. If you crank it all the way to 0% luck and 100% skill, you'll get a game like, well, there aren't any games that are 100% skill. There's always going to be at least a little bit of a luck element. For example, if your opponent doesn't get enough sleep, you got lucky. But a good example of a game that gets close to this would be chess. It's a game specifically made to reward strategy and skilled plays. There's no RNG, no dice rolls, no nothing. And as such, it is very likely that the more skilled player will win. And as such, it is absolutely not the kind of game that you want your party game to be. If your less experienced or skilled players know that the more experienced or skilled players will win every single time, chances are they're not really going to want to play in the first place. Since it's a party, you want all participants to have a shot at winning, so it's important to strike a nice balance between luck and skill. Too much luck, and it feels like the players have absolutely no influence over the outcome of the game. Too little luck, and it makes less skilled or experienced players feel hopeless. In summary, you want enough luck that everyone feels like they have a shot at winning, but not so much luck that a single player's progress could be entirely undone just by one roll of the dice. But the thing is, skill and luck are not where the skill conversation stops. I also want to talk about another facet of skill, specifically skill accessibility. If you've been around in video games long enough, you've probably heard of this thing before, just discussed in terms of skill floors and skill ceilings. Put simply, a skill floor is the minimum required skill in order for you to play the game effectively, and a skill ceiling is the amount of skill that it would take to play the game at maximum effectiveness. To give a few examples, soccer has a lower skill floor than volleyball, since all you need to learn to do to play soccer is just kick a ball, which is much easier than learning how to serve or return a volleyball. And Connect 4 has a higher skill ceiling than Tic-Tac-Toe because it takes much more effort to learn how to play Connect 4 with perfect strategy. So what do you want for a party game? Well, you want your party game's skill floor to be as low as possible for everything in the game. Remember, if you're playing this game at a party, it's not out of the realm of possibilities that one or more of the people you're playing with have A, never played the game before, or B, never played any video game before. Anything that requires people to learn complex mechanics and get used to the game before they can actually play it effectively just serves to alienate new players. Especially in the case of a game with lots of mini games. If by the time the minigame is almost over, they finally get the hang of things, and then the minigame never shows up again the rest of the game, well, they're not going to have a good time. The skill ceiling, interestingly, can and should be as high as you can make it without interfering with the skill floor. If the skill ceiling is super low for a lot of your minigames, then that probably means that multiple players can achieve a perfect score every time, and you'll see a lot of draws. It'll be as boring as watching professional bowling, like you know every single one of the participants is more than capable of bowling a 300. It just happens to be that the winner is the one that happens to mess up the least that day. Does that make any sense? Let me give a couple examples from actual party games to explain better. In Mario Party 6, the minigame Snow World is perfect. In it, your character goes down a ramp and goes in the air, and while your character is airborne, you have to press A, B, Y, X in rapid succession in order to do spins in the air. And whoever does it the fastest and therefore spins the most is the winner. The beauty of it is you could take someone who has never seen a controller before, explain to them how the buttons are laid out in a circular pattern, and they would understand exactly what needs to be done. That's the low skill floor part. The skill ceiling on the game, however, is very high. You can, and I've seen people get very, very good at pressing A, B, Y, X in that order very quickly. So the person with the most skill at this specific thing will win the minigame. It rewards people for performing better, but it doesn't punish people for not understanding how the game works before going into it. However, on the other hand, a bad example of a minigame is Mario Party 3's Mario Puzzle Party. Long story short, it's just modified Tetris, and it's really complicated to understand at the start. And the one time I played it, I didn't really get the hang of what was going on. I didn't really understand the trick to it. And because of that, I lost bad by people who were familiar with the game. I didn't really lose because I was necessarily outplayed. I just lost because I didn't know what was going on, and that's always a horrible feeling. But there is one last problem, one final piece of the puzzle, if you will, and that problem is that guy. You know the guy I'm talking about, the one that's just naturally good at all video games, no matter what they are. The one that just seems to have some divine gift to be skilled at anything that involves holding a controller. How are we going to give someone who is completely new at video games a chance at beating a guy like that? Well, this plays into the accessibility thing I was talking about earlier. A good party game is one that involves things that cater to a wide variety of skills. Reaction time, button mashing, memory match, spot the difference, whatever. If you do that, you increase the chance that every single player has at least a few video games that they individually are the best at. Because remember, we're not at a tournament, we're at a party. And the whole point is to make everyone feel like they have a chance to win, and therefore give everyone a chance to have fun. Because while you don't need to win to have fun, it doesn't really feel good when you're playing a game and you're just hopelessly losing the entire time. So, in summary, if you are going to make a good party game, you need a good framework. I personally recommend the board game, mini game style. It should have enough luck to make most of the players feel like they have a chance to win, but not so much luck that it makes them feel like whoever wins is completely in the hands of fate. And it should be accessible enough for a new player to hop in with little to no explanation, while also not being so dumbed down that people can't express their own skill. And that's it. That's it. You can go now. You're still here? Okay. Now that all the fake fans have left, for the true fans, I've got some information. Maybe not next week, maybe not the week after, but it is my plan to do a full-blown review of the first ever game Nintendo released on the Switch, the party game 1-2 Switch. I'll be talking a lot about the mini games that go on there and a little bit about the board game mode, so look forward to that. I thought I'd give you that little bit if you're still watching by this point. See you next time. Bye.